Hello, everyone. It's Alexis with Create Your Future. And you guys, we're back today with another video and we have another success story. We have Ivan joining us, who's a coach on our team. And today we're talking about how he got one of his clients to turn around her assumptions and then get what she wanted from her SP. And we're also talking about how to stay on your mental diet and how to be your own cheerleader. Super cool. So before we get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Please hit the bell icon in the box below and you get notified every time we post new videos. Hey, Ivan, just jump in and tell us all about this.
Hi, Alexis. Hi, everyone. So yeah, this week I received an email. I'm going to read you the email first, and then I'll go into the story of how I even assumed something out of this. So it goes like this. Update since last session with Ivan. I worked on the things Ivan told me to do. I definitely improved on my self-concept, but I got the opposite results from my SP, and she chose to remain where she was at with a third-party situation. And it broke my heart. I went to Mexico with friends and was having a blast when she sent me a deep and heartfelt text telling me she can't stop thinking of me and knows we belong together from the depth of her soul and loves me. She hasn't slept in weeks thinking of me possibly being with someone else. She's still not confident on what to do, but that's a giant step. Then she called me, which she never does. I can send Ivan the text if he wants. So, okay, so when I read this, that first sentence of like, I got the opposite, like my heart dropped out of my butt. Seriously, I was just like, I was like, why would they even send this to me? But I made an assumption right there, and immediately I reacted because I felt that sensation within me. So that's why I always tell people, before you react, start thinking of furthermore than what it is, the negative, right? Because we focus on that. So I continued to read this message, and it turned out to have a lot of success, incredible success, and she's feeling it because there was a sense like she worked on her self-concept and she was excited. She took herself to like Mexico and had the time of her life, and that's when the easiness of this whole manifestation works. When you really truly believe in yourself and you start getting into this sense of relaxation and enjoying life, because that's pretty much the trick. You have to learn to find the excitement in life, because life is really exciting, people. It really is. If you really open your eyes, it's really exciting. And so I had made the assumption that it was going to be a bad email. Like I was going to be like, oh God, I'm never going to talk to this person again because it didn't work out, But then I was just like, wait a minute, I haven't even finished reading the email. What else is there? So a lot of lovely things. So that's why it's important, people, for you to always bring it back to the positive. And that's when we start incorporating our mental diet into these assumptions that we make. So I want to give you like some examples. So let's say we're always having like an inner dialogue with our SPs as part of a technique, right? Well, it doesn't always have to be your SP. Sometimes you could talk within yourself to kind of like cheer yourself up, to kind of put you in this sense of like, I'm fine. I'm at peace with myself. Like you said in the beginning, becoming your own cheerleader, your own captain cheerleader, whatever it is, whatever you kids do nowadays. But it's about, sit within yourself and start looking into different possibilities of assumption and start seeing, that there is other possibilities than just the negative. Sometimes it takes time. Your journey takes time. Sometimes you need to heal fully in order to truly enjoy what it is that you want. Sometimes you need to really open your eyes to see how great you have it, because you're blinding yourself from all the incredibleness that's around you. So what I would what I tell a lot of my clients when they're in this really anxious state and they're really focusing on the 3D, I like to tell them to have an inner dialogue with themselves. As it is, we're always having inner dialogue, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like, what am I going to eat? Like I'm thinking right now, what am I going to eat? Or, what am I going to do? So what better way than to start taking control of your mind and start feeding it positivity, greatness that you deserve. So having an inner dialogue with yourself, and there's so many ways out there. There's inner child conversations. It's like, healing with other people. But I like to think about it like, why don't you think of it as your higher self talking to your current self? That higher self that has everything that you desire. And just putting yourself in this state of mind where you are completely calm. You take a couple of breaths in and you relax. And you hear your higher self telling yourself, hey, it's okay. It's fine. Everything's going to work out for you. Why is it going to work for you? Because you're worthy of it. Because you've been through such a journey and you're continuing to fight through it. You can do this. You're empowered. You could create. And that's why you're seeking guidance. That's why you watch the videos. That's why you seek coaching, because you are waking to become that better version of yourself. Don't give up. You're going to do it. You've done it before. Why can't you do it now? It's like everything's like, and you're limitless, basically. So creating a story within where you feel the peace within, where you feel the joy, it's really important that you start incorporating into your life, because sometimes it's like, I'm so focused on inner conversation with your SP, which are amazing and they have amazing results. But also, like, wouldn't it be cool to just talk to ourselves, be in love with ourselves, have us hear everything that we know about yourself, but sometimes we neglect to say to ourselves. So I think that's really important. And I hope a lot of you take on this technique, because I personally do it a lot, since like I'm driving in the car, and I had mentioned to Alexis before this, I was in a car crash not too long ago, and which I manifested, because I was like, I'm gonna get in an accident. And I was like, because I was just so anxious about it, because I live in LA and the traffic's crazy and people drive, like, they drive safely. That's the assumption. They drive safely. Be careful with me. But I got into an accident, and ever since then, I've been really paranoid, and I'm always like, very nervous and antsy when I'm driving. But now, Alexis and I had a wonderful session with one-on-one, and she taught me something that I love, which is I am safe, and adding something to it. So me saying like, I am safe in my car, I am safe in my car, I am safe in my car, has alleviated a lot of that stress. So, but it's an inner dialogue within myself that I'm saying, of course I am safe. I am safe. Why wouldn't I be? It's like, I'm always protected. I've been protected for so many years. What makes you think that I won't be today, tomorrow? It's like, I'm always safe. So these are the types of things that really help you to start to develop you, to start allowing for these wonderful things to come. Work within yourself. That's why self-concept is so important. And this is a really good technique to kind of like elevate that self-concept about you.
I love that. And I just wanted to add, for any of our viewers and listeners who struggle to find an inner voice, or might struggle to find who is the higher self voice within you, just think, you guys, that there's a part of you that's connected to the creative force of all that is, and that's where your higher voice, your higher self comes from, right? And I like to think of like my higher self as different beings. Like one day she might be like a goddess who's always in this like beautiful white, like shimmery long dress. And then some days she's a cat, to be honest. Like I really have two major higher selves. Like I'm a cat person or I'm a goddess, but that I know that it's my higher wisdom, like my higher self within. So if you don't know who that is within you, then like Ivan's telling you, it is within you, and it's just for you to kind of associate to that voice and speak in your inner conversation with that voice that's always been there, that's always kept you safe, that's always been your cheerleader, and that if you're still here, it's still with you, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like that whole concept about like switching it up. That kind of makes it kind of fun. So it's like yourself is like Brad Pitt. That's but also like what's interesting, because your higher self could also be God, because you're the God of your reality. And it's like, if you're religious, it could be God or a saint or whatever it is that you believe in. It could be the universe. I actually always say, I'm always at peace because I know God and the universe, because of how awesome would it be to just have like two power, like just come and help you all the time. And then I could incorporate my higher self, because it's like, so that's three already.
Totally.
So that's like, I am fine all the time.
I love that. And it's like, like you said, you're always having an inner conversation. And we talk a lot about on the channel, inner conversations with the SP, but even within the SP conversation, there is the inner conversation with self. And that is even, you know, because that's how you also create your concept of self, is through your inner conversation with self.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit, you know, it's another way to look at it, but I think it's such a beautiful perspective to take on doing the self-concept work. And maybe if you have struggled with doing your intentions or mental diet, then having an inner conversation with yourself, talking to yourself, is another way to go about it, because it could kind of be like a workaround there.
It's kind of like you're setting the intention within.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
coming from within, and you're encouraging yourself to say that it's possible. Anything you desire, it's possible. It's already present. You know, I don't know if I shared this quote with before, but I've shared it with a couple of my clients because I just found it really good. I might have said it in last week's video, I don't know, but it's a good one. It goes, they already love you. They're just waiting for you to allow them to love you. So when it's regards to like an SP, I think that's very important to know that you just need to allow it to happen. Don't
Mm-hmm.
force it, don't pressure it. Allow yourself by talking to yourself. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's so true, isn't it? Because I think that's the missing component for a lot of us, is like, how do you, and we've talked about this in other videos, like, you're manifesting for this beautiful, wonderful love, but if you don't know how to allow it, and how to continue allowing it, not just allowing it once, but like having that continual sense and feeling of allowing, that receptivity we've talked about, that a lot of us haven't been receptive very much to, like constant love, constant communication, constant adoration, and that like beautiful, almost like Disneyland kind of love that we know we can have. Like, I know it's possible because so many of my clients have manifested, because of using these processes, a whole different version of someone that has a whole different version of a relationship. But you block it by having an emotional, like a thing happen. You block it by anxiety, you block it by worry, you block it by having to have it happen yesterday, and like, why did it happen and when is it happening? That whole thing, right? So
Also, like when you're reacting to the 3D, sit within yourself. You know, a lot of people always ask me, like, what do I do when I'm reacting? Well, what better thing than to talk to yourself? I'm always talking to myself. Sometimes I feel like my roommate thinks I'm crazy. But, you know, I don't care because I'm pretty sane. You know?
right.
But I'm always like, you know, like every time, like, you know, we already do it. So like, what better way, like, you know, start filling with something that's actually awesome. Like, hey, buddy, you could do this. We got this.
Yeah. I like it. It's such a guy thing to say. Hey, buddy. I don't think my inner cat or my inner goddess would talk to me that way, but I like it that yours says that.
Yeah, hey, we got it. You know, my dad used to call me buddy. So, or he still does every once in a while. So I guess that's why.
I love that. Hi, Dad. Cute. And I think that this is like going back to your client and the success story. We just also, I think, to touch upon is first of all, we know that we don't want to create negative assumptions. Like when you were reading the email and you had that negative assumption that like your heart, what did you say? Your heart fell out of your butt?
Yeah.
So, so we know we don't want to create negative assumptions, and we don't want to create negative stories with things. So you guys, what you can start monitoring is, when are you creating a negative story? Like, when is the mind creating a negative story or assumption about someone or something? And then you can just start working on creating positive stories, positive assumptions, and positive expectation, or something more neutral, right? Than having to, you don't need to be like positive Polly all the time, but we definitely want, knowing that your assumptions create and your stories create and your thoughts create, we want those to be in your favor, and for you to still be your own cheerleader, to be empowered, right?
Yeah. It's like, tell yourself, if I'm my own cheerleader, I'd be like, give me an I, give me a B, give me an A, give me an N. Yeah, we got this.
Yeah. Like I told you, I was a cheerleader, and I could put that in. I'm not going to do that in the video. I think that's the letters, okay, but I know how to do that. But I'll say, like, I was a cheerleader until when it was cool. When it stopped being cool, I was not a cheerleader. So I wasn't, forever a cheerleader.
I'm always cool, no matter what.
So perfect. But that's the thing, is like, you just want to be putting yourself first, cheering yourself on, and having that inner voice within that's on your side, and carrying it through in your inner conversations with yourself, right?
Yes, all the time, 100%.
Yeah. Wow. So exciting. I just love all these concepts. Well, you guys, the link for booking with coaching with Ivan is in the box below. He obviously knows what he's doing. He's getting success stories. Clients are turning things around. They're working on their assumptions, working on their mental diet, and they're manifesting whatever they want. So one more time, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Make today awesome. Have some awesome assumptions today. Tell yourself some positive stories, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.